pathways and certification, all processes will be on this new platform. Research can be done remote. USCE can be done tele. This is not ideal, but still can be done. So that is one big mistake, to assume that you cannot match without a visa. So that's one. Recommend, getting everything up ready and ready to go by 24 September. The fact is that especially in IM, FM, pediatrics, Sarthi has a very, very rigorous process for review and giving you feedback.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our channel. This is Shayla, the VP of Student Success. We are so excited to be live today with you. Hi, Pwan. How are you doing?
Good. Yeah, good to be back on Facebook. We haven't done a live on Facebook for quite some time, and I think last week we had some issues, but we sorted it out, and we are excited to meet all of you, especially Shayla. She's been the face of our company, so we are happy to answer any questions you have live, and our team is taking down questions, so fire them away.
Yeah, so hopefully we can get some interaction. Feel free to comment any thoughts or questions we go as we go. So today we are talking about August. Today is already August 1st, so we are T-minus 2 months from the application deadlines. Last month we were talking about July, the tokens were opening, getting last minute rotations in research, how to stand out in those rotations, things like that. So make sure to check out that video available on YouTube also to make sure nothing got missed for July. So here we are, August. Pawan, we have an important update. I have a big question for you. The pathways, are they finally opening? What are the changes?
Yeah, so trust ECFMG to make changes in the middle of the peak season. So yes, pathways will open, but they will open only middle of this month, hopefully, because they are transitioning to a new platform. So pathways and certification, all processes will be on this new platform. Now, if you're already certified, and maybe you got certified last season, there will be a distinct advantage to all of you who can take step 3 before the 24 September kind of deadline. That'll give you an advantage because since the pathways are opening late, many of the students who otherwise would want to take step 3 will be ineligible or will not have enough time, because first they have to get pathway certification, then apply for certification, then take step 3. Regardless, pathways will open, and most of you should be aware that there are the 6 standard pathways, 1 through 6. 90+% of you will be in pathway 1, which is the standard for IMGs. So you will need to have a good standing certificate, request it from your local authorities, sending it directly to ECFMG, get all other documentation ready. So as soon as the pathway is open, hopefully you should have taken OET. OET will be valid, any OET taken on or after January 1st, 2024. So get all this out of the way, and then you are ready for certification and pathways. For those of you in pathway 6, the big change is that now the revalidation of your skills, that is eligible only for outpatient clinics. So no emergency room medicine, no inpatient, no urgent care. You will have to get this assessment done only in outpatient, and that is something that ECFMG has clarified. So to summarize, pathways will open middle of August. Then the certification process, we are still hoping that all of you will be eligible and certified by 24 September.
Okay, definitely hitting the deadline there. Okay, so yeah, pay attention to all those updates. Okay, so as we said, we have less than 2 months. Can you just highlight a few mistakes that you see at this point? What are students missing?
Okay. As I do that, I know we have Sneha from our team on Facebook. So Sneha, if there are any questions, just let us know, because I'm not looking at that screen. So mistakes at this point of time, right? For one is to assume that if you don't have visa, you cannot match. So that is not correct. I mean, there are still options. Research can be done remote. USCE can be done tele. This is not ideal, but still can be done. So that is one big mistake, to assume that you cannot match without a visa. So that's one. Second mistake is late applications. Okay, we strongly recommend getting everything up ready and ready to go by 24 September. The fact is that especially in IM, FM, pediatrics, so on and so forth, the IMG friendly specialties, within a week of application opening, programs are going to get at least 1,000 applications within the first week. And this is all NRMP data, which means they don't have the time and the resources to keep pulling the application later on in the season, unless of course you really have some pressing reasons to apply late. We recommend apply on time. Then is the lack of USCE and subsequently the LOR. A lot of students are thinking I will apply without adequate USCE, or maybe just no USCE, 1 month USCE. We strongly recommend, we have still 2 months. You can do the USCE, you can earn the LORs, even if tele, you should be able to do it. Third, research is becoming increasingly important. So take a look at, research also. There is still time to at least submit your publications, not finally getting published in 2 months, but at least you can submit. The third, program outreach is absolutely important. You all have to remember that everyone likes to customize and personalize. It is not, the generic emails and all that. And a lot of our students, for example, went to AAFP, American Association of Family Practitioners, the conference that started yesterday. There are various means to outreach and reach out to the programs, connect with them. And we have classes on all of that. So outreach is also important. So maybe this is the time you can tell them about, our rotations and what we do in our classes, maybe.
Yeah, for sure. I was thinking we could skip to the research. You mentioned getting research at the time to submit for publication. So I'll go ahead and share my screen here. You mentioned at least getting submitted. I did want to highlight that question a lot. If your publications are at least submitted, you can still put submitted or pending on the application. So
yes, so this is you're right. So by the way, this is the research course offered by Director of Clinical Research at Hackensack, and in August and September we are going ahead with full manuscript, as you can see here. Take a look at the topic, and if that is of interest, absolutely it will be submitted before the application deadline. And he only targets top tier journals, so we'll absolutely submit it, and you can put it on your ERAS. So Sneha, maybe you can put a link on the Facebook chat for those of the students who are with us.
Perfect. And then you mentioned rotations as well, so I wanted to just highlight that. We do have this list available on our website of all of our rotations. Obviously, you need to check for availability for these, but definitely a lot of them are still available for August and September.
Yes, absolutely. So the good thing about this list, and Sneha, you can post it on Facebook also. The good thing about this list is in one shot you can see the specialty, you can actually see the hospital or the LOR type, what letterhead, and some of them may also have discount. So and then if you click on column or any rotation in column B, you will see the description. So there are still time for you to get LORs and US clinical experience. So if you need it, I think this is a very good opportunity at this point. We still have 2 months to go. All our students will get LORs by September 15, 16, so that they can upload it. It takes about a week to upload. So even if you are doing in September, you can try it out.
Perfect. Okay, so that's rotations and research. Let's transition over a little bit to the actual application process. So PS and CV, ERAS CV, time to get those going. When should students get started, and how to start the help?
So you can start now. I mean, if you can buy a token, as you probably all know, the tokens are available from MyERAS. You can buy now. You can get started on all the ERAS documents, including the CV, the personal statement, and everything. Specifically with personal statement and ERA CV, Sarthi has a very rigorous process for review and giving you feedback. So first is our classes. So we have detailed classes on personal statement taken by our senior panelist, attending, and she goes over each and every line of how to fill your ERA CV, what to actually mention in personal statement and all of that. So there are detailed classes. Then in terms of the review process, first your personal statement is reviewed by our journalist team, all based out of US. They give you feedback. As the second step, your ERA CV and personal statement is reviewed by a physician from your specialty. They set up time with you one-on-one on Zoom and review it with you, give you feedback. And third is again the journalist finally will review both the documents for you. So quite a rigorous process, including classes, including discussions with the panelists, journalist review. We have a closed Telegram group also that students ask question. It is answered by our panelists. So we have quite a number of options for you as you look at our courses. There is the turbo plan that includes everything. For those of you who are looking at some cost or more affordable options only for ERA, CV, and PS, there's the other plan also. So maybe Shaila, you can show them where these plans are on the website.
Yeah, I'll show that. And while I'm pulling that up, I just wanted to highlight that fact that students do get to meet with a physician when they review the PSCV, and I really appreciate that meeting because you kind of get to know your story. Okay, so if we go to the website under Residency Match 2026 Turbo Match Plan is where you'll find this plan, which has that whole PS and CV review process that Juan talked about. And plus mentorship meetings, all of the recorded classes.
Yes, this is fairly comprehensive. All interview preparation classes, program signaling, everything, meetings with me, rank order list discussion, everything is included in this. So this is, a very affordable, very comprehensive plan that you can take a look. And then, of course, like I mentioned, there's the other plan, which is only focused on ERA, CV, and PS. So I think so this is the plan. Yeah. So if you are only focused on ERA, CV, PS, take a look at this. It'll also give you a lot of material for your ERAs, PS, CV. In fact, everything, including review by, like I said, our physicians and journalists. Maybe it's a good time to show them our class page so they can take a look at the various classes we offer. Maybe they can take a look at the trailers, because we have classes on all aspects of the match, including, like I mentioned, the ERA, CV, PS, geographic signaling. So yeah, Sneha, maybe you can paste that link. So if you go into any of these links for our students, you can see possibly the trailers of these classes. So we have classes on all aspects of the match, whether it's ERA, CV, interview preparation, and everything.
Yeah, we talked about volunteer opportunities, how to match if you went unmatched before. So a lot of helpful classes.
Yep.
Okay, let's see, where are we at? We've got our PSCV ready to go. Okay, LORs, that would be another point. Mm-hmm. So how do students submit their LOR on the ERAS, and when do they do that?
Right. So now would be the time to start, because if you have the token, you can actually go to My ERAS and request LOR from the preceptor or from the researcher you worked with. A fairly standard process. It has to be done through the system. The other thing which we highlighted in the last webinar also was you only want waived LORs, not unwaived. Waived means technically you have not seen the content of the LOR and that the preceptor himself or herself, they upload it. So that's the waived LOR. You only want waived LOR. Ideally, at least 3 US LORs which are very recent.
Okay, perfect. And if the physician does ask the student to write the LOR, can Sarthi help with that?
Yes, absolutely. So if you have LORs that you have to write and you want us to review, our team can do that. We have, again, comprehensive class on LOR. We have discussed each and every aspect of how to write an LOR, what should be the content of the LOR. And, we can also review it if you are our student in any of the plans.
Perfect. Okay, I think I just have a couple more topics we want to touch on. So program signaling, that would be one thing that students will start thinking about at this point. How does that affect their chances for an interview?
Yes, that's a very important question. And for those of you who are Sarthi students, our program list will include this year data about signaling. But for the rest of you, of course, signaling has become very important. If you look at the NRMP data or data in Residency Explorer, programs are highly likely to invite you if you have signaled them gold, silver. So, signaling is IM has 15 signals, I assume. So signaling has become very important. So the way you select the signal, the way you select the geographies is important. Don't ignore them, especially in IM, Neuro, Peds, FM. Very important. And like I said, in our classes, or for those of you who are platinum students, we will work with you step by step to try to identify such programs based on your profile, based on where we think, based on your profile, our students have gotten the interview in the past. So, absolutely, signaling is becoming increasingly important.
Perfect. And one kind of small question that we get every once in a while: is there a benefit to applying before that September 24th deadline? Is if I apply, say September 10th, do I have an advantage?
There's no benefit. The application will open on September 4th, I believe, 4th or 5th. So the reason they open it early is because they don't want the servers to crash or, getting that load towards the deadline or day one, which is September 24th. The programs can only access your application on September 24th at 9 a.m., I think, Eastern time, which means if you're ready. Now, many students may be ready, that's fine. They have no updates after September, so they can submit on September 4th, 5th, 10th. But a lot of students are still doing rotations, waiting for the LORs, maybe completing some research to be submitted. So we generally tell our students, give a day or two buffer, apply on maybe 21st, 22nd. No point in waiting for the last day. Things do happen, but technically there is no difference between September 10th and September 24th, 9 a.m. Eastern.
Okay, thanks for clarifying that. Okay, my last question is regarding interview preparation. So as we're getting the application wrapped up, when should we start preparing for interviews?
So interview preparation is not a one-day job. Many of us are very comfortable. We can talk about things and our experiences and our life and how it shaped us to be a physician, but there are several others who have not had this experience, and what we recommend is interview preparation cannot be pushed out till September. Now would be the time, as you are talking with your friends, peers, or even attending our classes. Think about things. Think about USCE, for example. How did your USCE shape you, say, for internal medicine? What was the time that you had a great experience with a patient or a team member? So thinking about these things is actually preparing for interview. So structuring your thoughts, making sure you can articulate something in 90 seconds, all of that should be starting. But yes, if you are asking me for a drop dead kind of a hard date, I would say August 15, you should start thinking about the 80 or 90 interview questions and how would you answer that as you're putting together your ERAS application and your personal statement.
Perfect. And I did want to throw out that all of our platinum and gold do include our interview prep classes that we have, and then we will be launching an interview prep specific plan as well. So watch for that. Okay. Anything else you wanted to add, Juan, for August?
No, I think, like I mentioned, to summarize, pathways for those of you who are waiting should be open. Research rotations, even if tele, will help you greatly. those who have taken step 3, absolutely, you guys will have an advantage this year. Lack of visa should not be an issue for those of you who could not get a visa. There is uncertainty, of course, but in uncertainty, there are always opportunities. So many of our students have received off-cycle positions also. You never know what will turn in your favor. So, with 2 months to go, I think you are right there, and don't give up at the last minute.
Great. Thanks everyone for joining us.
One last thing. Are there any
Oh.
questions? I don't know if there are any questions on Facebook. So Sneha, if there are questions, let us know. We can answer a couple before we leave. If not, they can answer it later on as well.
Okay, I don't see any questions.
All right.
so-
Then have a good August, everyone. And thank you for joining. Thank you, Shaila.
Thank you. Have a good rest of your day.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much for watching. We hope that video provided valuable insights for your journey. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. And check out our website for details on how we can guide you to a successful match.